that should be the goal of every organization.
Okay.
Is that they don't need you anymore.
Yes,
so that's the goal, is that there's not a need. And so that is what we're trying to create with CWUW and in all aspects of our programming, is that our community doesn't need us anymore. They've understand the resources and the tools to better whatever their goals are.
Welcome to the IAAQLI 6 Pillars in Action podcast, where we deep dive into the transformative impact of the work being done in Indianapolis Black communities. Get ready to be inspired by the incredible projects and organizations making a real difference in the lives of Indianapolis residents. And that conversation starts right now.
Welcome to the 6 Pillars in Action podcast, where we take an in-depth look at the incredible work of the IAAQLI, or the Indianapolis African American Quality of Life Initiative. I'm your host, Samantha Douglas, and today we are here with Rhonda Bayless for the Center of Health and Wellness of Urban Women, correct?
It's close.
It's
close. It's the Centers of Wellness for Urban Women.
Oh, okay, Centers of Wellness
It's
for
close.
Urban Women. Yeah. So first off, can you start by telling us about the organization, what you all do?
Absolutely. So we also go by CWUW, because that name is so long.
Yes.
But CWUW focuses on women's health, whole health here in Indianapolis, specifically women who live in urban communities. And so we've been around since 2007, so 18 years of serving Indianapolis and providing opportunities for women to address their health and well-being from top to bottom.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So do you guys primarily work with like all women, women of color? Is there any kind of designation in that way?
Well, we focus on all women, but especially Black women, because we understand there's special needs that come with being African American here in Indiana. And so we want to honor that. But any woman is welcome to any of our services.
Amazing. And what's your role with the organization? Because I didn't say that.
I am the executive director and founder.
Yeah. Oh, you're the founder too.
I am the founder.
Amazing. How long have you guys been around?
18 years. Okay. And development forever.
Yeah.
You know, it's a process, but for 18 years here in Indy.
Amazing. Yeah. So when you guys heard about the opportunity with the IAAQLI and like what kind of alignment did you see with the program and you all's organization? Well,
the most interesting thing is being a wellness organization. For the longest, there weren't funding opportunities for wellness.
Yeah.
It had to be very narrow categories for wellness. And so this was an opportunity for us to kind of really present what wellness could look like for Black women here in Indianapolis. So I jumped on it immediately because especially when it comes to mental health, this is one of those areas that we really focus on. This grant just offered a great opportunity for us to do that in a deeper way.
Yeah. So can you go into that for me? Like, what did this grant funding, how did it let you go into that in a deeper way?
Well, one thing that we noticed is the connectivity to mental health services, especially for providers of color. So it was on both sides. It was those providers who were looking for clients of color to connect with. It was for us to kind of open opportunities to engage women in examining and thinking about therapy. And so this provided us an opportunity to not only just pay for those services, because we saw that was a big gap, that women couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity for us to connect with health insurance, but bigger was the connectivity to providers of color here in Indianapolis and making sure that those women can at least see out the first 5-6 sessions of therapy and work with them on securing other financial means to be able to continue therapy. So it was very important on that side of it, but also we were able to just open up the world of wellness to women who had never thought about doing yoga, meditation. All those things seemed very foreign. So we had created a program called Power Retreat, because retreats can be costly. Yeah. So we provided retreats at no cost in different community centers. We did some at Eagle Creek, partnered with them there to bring women into spaces that they would not normally have opportunities to engage with. And then we also did family-oriented retreats as well, separating the moms and the kids, and that the kids have their time and the moms have their time, and bringing them all together. But it also just introduces wellness for youth as well.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that like whole family approach too. I think
Absolutely.
we miss that so much
Yeah.
because, if we just serve the kids, we send them right back into homes that, where the parents are struggling. Or if we just
Absolutely.
serve parents, same thing, right?
Yep,
And so I
absolutely.
love that holistic approach of really looking at the whole family
whole
and how you can
family.
serve them all.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank
So did you guys do this retreats before, or this is something specific to the funding that you received?
No, we did it before.
Okay.
It just was able to expand it into different
Yeah.
neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And so we targeted 4 neighborhoods here in Indianapolis to really do that engagement with. So it was definitely just a bigger expansion of what we had already learned in doing the program and saying, okay, well, let's keep it going, you
Yeah.
know? And like I said, what we really have found is women always thought it was just a cost to a retreat. So
Yeah.
when we were introduced, it automatically was like, how much do you have to pay for it? It was like, nothing is a whole day. We're going to feed you, we're going to take care of you, but we're going to teach you things to go home with
Yeah.
so that you can continue this, so that you can take care of yourself. And then also things that you can teach your children and teach your
Yes.
partners or teach family all together in how to reduce stress and just be mindful of what's going on day to day.
Were these like a weekend retreat, a day retreat?
They were just day retreats,
Okay,
but they
okay.
were full day retreats. So we provided breakfast and lunch, and also, opportunities to disconnect from the retreat if you needed to, because sometimes that's a lot. But like I said, it was having this funding really made us be able to do that full breadth of what a retreat could look like.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to cut it short or make shortcuts.
Yeah.
We could really do a full retreat for the women.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, thank you.
So, numbers wise, and I don't want to put you on the spot just in case but numbers wise, how did it expand?
We were able to expand from 2 neighborhoods to 4 neighborhoods, targeting 50 women in each neighborhood. So our goals were
wow.
200, and we did reach that.
Amazing.
And we kind of doubled that because we then did the family retreats, which had the same kind of targeted outcomes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
we were able to make that happen.
That's amazing.
It was
Are there any like specific stories that stick out to you from that experience or
Well,
from participants?
Definitely the mothers who were able to teach their kids how to calm. I think
Yeah.
that was this kind of self-soothing
Yeah.
through breathing. And breath work we found just so important. And just us being able to share. I use breath work with my grandson who had a lot of stressors when he was in kindergarten. So we were able to kind of do that from a lived experience point of view and not just the professionals too, but no, this actually works. So we
Yeah.
had a lot of moms saying that worked, of just helping the children to kind of reset as well, but also with their own stressors of saying we know how it is when kids
I was gonna say, listen, 'cause when we were in kindergarten, it's like, what stressors? You got stressors? What are those?
But the moms also understanding how to take time. And so we also
Yeah.
do something where we call sacred spaces and teaching how to create sacred spaces in your home. Like how do you carve out that special chair?
Yeah.
That special part in your house. How does your bedroom become a sacred space so that you don't actually have to leave your house, but you can provide that space in your house and let everybody know, that's my chair. This is my moment. This is how I'm going to do this space. So you can learn how to do that day to day. So it's really practical applications that you don't have to go out in community to always seek out those opportunities, but you can do it in your house.
I love
every
that.
day.
That's sustainable too. Like,
Absolutely.
So just in case they can't go back to this retreat or they don't have the time to actually have tools that they can use on their own.
That should be the goal of every organization.
Okay.
Is that they don't need you anymore.
Yes,
So
that
that's
is
the
the
goal,
goal.
is that there's not a need. And so that is what we're trying to create with CWUW and in all aspects of our programming, is that our community doesn't need us anymore. They've understand the resources and the tools to better whatever their goals are.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any other kind of outcomes that you want to highlight or that you can think of that just really inspire you and inspire this work moving forward?
Well, I think the mental health piece, and we can see the uplift that a lot of community partners and community organizations are really putting an emphasis on that. But I think it's also not only looking at the needs of the community, but the providers as well, and how we can come
Yes.
together. We just found a lot of the providers still needed help with understanding insurance and Medicaid and those kind of things,
Yeah.
and how can they actually help the most vulnerable when they themselves don't accept private insurance or they don't do those things. So we were able to help bridge that gap a little bit because they wanted to make sure that they were reaching the most vulnerable. And so we worked with them and saying, okay, this is a referral you can make out so they can get insurance, so things can be covered, or we'll pay for a certain amount of services, or how do you start accepting Medicaid and what that billing looks like. So it wasn't just direct service to us, to the client, but it was also working with the providers and saying this is a better way that you can also work with the community that you want to work with.
Right. Yeah. There was a program that one of my sons was in that is only available if you're on Medicaid, and like we no longer have it. So it's like, man, that's really it's tough. I don't think people realize those gaps that.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
So we really do put a lot of emphasis on the ALICE population, and so that's that so-called working poor. I don't like that label necessarily, but it's that particular group, because that's where we see a lot of the gaps happening across all health outcomes, is because they don't have that resource in either getting SNAP or Medicaid and those things and accessing those services. So how do we fill that gap is we help pay for some of those things, or we make that connection, and helping providers to understand you might have to reduce your costs for this group so that they may have some out of pocket, but it's still affordable for them to take on whatever that concern or issue is.
Yeah. So how do you see the organization growing from here? Like what's the next thing you all are working on or doing, or how you're expanding, or maybe even capacity building?
Well, this actually allowed us to build in a lot of capacity. We didn't
nice.
just get one grant. We got 3. So all 3 rounds. The other 2 were focused on food access. So it helped us kind of see the breadth of what we can do as an organization and what needs we feel in the community. So we actually were able to look at who are we in the wellness space. There's a lot of people doing wellness work, and so how do we help and blend in and not just duplicate the same thing over and over again that we see a lot, but how do we fit in? How can we help build capacity of other organizations and businesses? That's really important to me, that the yoga instructors, the doulas, whomever, actually get paid for their services. And so if we have a funding stream that helps us do that, we want to do that. We don't have to do the direct service. So that was one way we kind of learned from this process of what's the best way that we can fit into the space and allow those experts in community and allow those small Black businesses to thrive, is to actually, hey, I'll pay you to go do the yoga. I'll pay you to do these services. So that was one of the big things that we learned through this.
Yeah. And for the future, like what do you see you guys
It's some of the
doing
same
next?
work. It's still kind of looking at that. I think right now, because we are a health focused organization, we are re-examining all the things.
Yes, I was gonna say we are in a tough climate right now too.
We're examining all the ways that we can service community, and a lot of that comes from community voice and what is needed. And so we're looking at that more family structure. And how do we really serve the whole family? What are the greatest needs right now, knowing that SNAP and Medicaid are being cut? How do we make sure we get food to people? How do we make sure people get health care? How teach people how to self-screen? So we do things around A1C and things like that they can take home. So it's teaching people how we're going to maneuver, and that is what we see as the future, and how do we help people navigate what's about to happen or is actually happening.
I know you said that you all focus on 4 neighborhoods. What are those general areas?
Well, Far East Side.
Okay. Well, Far East Side.
Okay.
Shameless plug. Okay.
Northwest neighborhood, near West, and the 46218 neighborhood, like the unique area, 38th and Keystone area. We've just done a lot of work in those areas. We have, because we also do like the food work as well, we also know a lot of our farmers are in that space as well. So we were like, well, let's make sure that we're already in these spaces. Let's, focus this other program in those areas as well.
And this is because I can't imagine, especially with the way that our immigrant community is under fire and stuff, and I can only imagine how much difficult it makes it to serve them.
Yeah.
But these are spaces that are safe
Absolutely.
for them to connect with and engage with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's across the board. Everybody, like I said, it's really at the point where every woman that we serve is really going through it.
Yeah.
We have trans women that we work with. We have, so we're trying to navigate how to keep everyone safe and what are safe spaces to go to. So it's not just working with CWUW, but what other organizations are out there that we can connect them to ensure that they're going to get the services that they need. That's a really big part of what we do as CWUW, is that connectivity. And if we're not always the best, we know someone else is. Yeah. And so we really try to make sure that that's a big point of the work that we do.
It's amazing. So how can people get connected to your organization?
We are online everywhere is one of the big things. Of course, the traditional social media aspects, you can connect with us there. You can just simply call us up or email us. And so that email is info@cwuonline.org. Can I give my phone number?
Yeah.
So 317-203-9292. You can call us up and say, hey, we need help. I just want to connect to mental health. If you are suffering from chronic illness, we can help you in those areas. If you need food, we can figure out those things as well. So just give us a call. Social isolation is a big thing that we focus on because post-COVID, if you need connectivity, you need to just hang out with some folks, you can come to one of our events and hang out with us.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for watching this segment, but make sure you come back for our next guest from the Ball State University Foundation.
Coming up, hear from another IAA-QLI awardee and learn more about the impact and work being done in our community. And don't forget, subscribe to our podcast and visit the IAA-QLI website and learn more about the work being done and ways to get involved.
Welcome back. We are here with the 6 Pillars in Action podcast with our next guest, Taya Arthur from the Ball State University. I know I said the Ball State University. I guess that's shout out to them, right?
Yeah.
But tell us about, well, first of all, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the program. Tell us about your role at Ball State.
Absolutely. So I'm from Ball State University, and I'm sure many know in Indianapolis where Ball State is located, but we're in Muncie, Indiana, about an hour northeast of here. And we're basically a university that has about 20,000 students, and we really do focus much of our mission on students. And so my role at the university is as a faculty member. So I'm an assistant professor of public health. So I teach undergraduate public health students. And then my other role is that I direct the project that we got funding from IAA-QLI to increase mental health awareness amongst medically underserved populations in the Indianapolis, Marion County area, and then also reduce stigma about mental health and increase the ability of individuals to access quality mental health care. And then kind of the last part of our project is to increase the pipeline whereby we can increase the numbers of culturally responsive mental health counselors and therapists in Indianapolis.
So tell me about how you got to this space.
Absolutely, yes. So as I mentioned, I'm a faculty member within the Department of Nutrition and Health Science, and that department is within the College of Health at Ball State. And within the College of Health's mission, we focus in on interdisciplinary collaborations, interprofessional collaborations, community engagement, as well as increasing access to quality, affordable health care. And so once once we saw, this grant, we thought it fit really well with our College of Health mission. And so we brought in individuals from different departments within the college. So it included my department, as well as the School of Kinesiology, the School of Nursing, the Department of Social Work, the Department of Counseling Psychology as well. And so we all came together to put this project into place.
It's so helpful to have so many hands on deck.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
These grant processes can be complex.
They can be. Yeah. So it was great to work with a great team. And I just have to give one shout out. I have two team members, Dr. J.C. LeBeau and Dr. Anna Farello, and they have worked so hard over the course of this project to ensure that all the aspects of the project come into fruition. So I just wanted to give them a quick shout out as well.
Rightfully so, because it takes such a huge team to get such a huge vision off the ground. I can't imagine, one person definitely can't do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So when it came to collaboration, because I know it wasn't just collaboration internally within Ball State, but you all had outside partners as well, correct?
We do have outside partners. So one of our outside partners is Mended Arrows, which is a nonprofit organization here in Indianapolis. And what their mission is to provide a safe space for at-risk youth as well as young adults through free haircuts. And so we have been working with them, partnering with them specifically with Adrian Burney, who's the director of that program. He has facilitated a process by which we've been able to recruit barbers and hairstylist partners for our project. And we're working with these barbers and hairstylists in order to increase awareness about mental health and help individuals find out about the free counseling services that our program has.
I always love that because salons and barbershops became this really organic mental health space.
It is.
For folks, It
is. So we thought that, this project would be a great accompaniment to what is already organically happening in barbershops and in salons. So barbers and hairstylists do kind of serve as the counselors for everyone who comes and sits into their chair. But also, sometimes the barbers and hairstylists don't have the specific resources that the individual client needs. And so that's why we wanted to ensure that they had the information about the supports that we have as a part of our project so that they can share that with their clients. So we currently have 21 barbers and hairstylists that we're working with here in the Indianapolis area. So we were able to train them on the different aspects of talking with their clients about mental health and the free counseling services that our project provides. And then also, after we did that initial training, I had one barber who actually came up to me, and he was wondering about additional training that he could get, specifically in the mental health space, right? And so luckily, as a part of our project, we had already put in that we were going to offer a micro-credential to the barbers and hairstylists so they can then have the tools that they need to talk to their clients further. And so we were able to actually hold a mental health first aid training this past June for the barbers and hairstylists that are participating in our project. So now they have that extra information in their back pocket about, the signs and symptoms of mental health concerns, different resources that they can utilize before their client may be able to get more professional help. And so that was a great aspect of the project as well, and we got good feedback.
Yeah, that's incredible. So obviously, I know you guys said you guys kind of built this project around this grant opportunity, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it wasn't necessarily like a you know, expanding the work you were doing, but actually like creating new work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And new collaborations and
Yes.
new partners.
Yeah.
So that's been a wonderful aspect of the project. And in fact, our partners at Mended Arrows, they kind of learned more about IAAQLI through their partnership with us, and they actually applied during this last round to further all of the great work that they were already doing. So that's one of the, you know, great things that came out of
just organic expansion
exactly.
and access.
Exactly.
Wow, that's incredible. So how do you, I'm assuming you guys are going to keep going with this program because it's been so successful. So like, how do you see this program continuing to evolve?
Yeah, so we have another aspect of our partnership with the barbers and hairstylists. Specifically, we created what we call a mental health literacy application that they could use iPads for within their barber shops and salons. And so basically within the tool, it's a series of videos where individuals kind of tell their story about different mental health issues. So one of the young men in the video has depression. Another one suffers from anxiety. Another one has a lot of stressors in her life. And so we kind of use these stories to then increase knowledge and awareness about mental health amongst the clients that are going to the barbers and hairstylists. And so that can it would be another tool that they can use to kind of start those conversations about getting additional support if they need it. So we're wanting to integrate that particular application more within the salons and in the barbershops. So that's something that's coming down the pipeline as well.
So have you guys, like, again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have like the numbers served? Like how many people have you guys been able to serve through this project?
Yeah, so specifically with the barbers and hairstylists, they've spoken to 400. They have tracked 400 clients that they have spoken to specifically about mental health and the resources that are available. So as you can imagine, that's a great impact. So it could be, yes, they spoke to 400 clients, but those clients could have told someone else about it as well. So it's exponential in terms of the numbers of people that may have been impacted by those conversations within the barbershops and hair salons. So we're happy about that.
So what do you see the next phase of this project looking like? What are you guys going to do next?
Yeah, so mostly implementing that mental health literacy application. That's one major aspect. And then there's another part of our project. I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but basically we wanted to create a pipeline where we could increase the numbers of culturally responsive mental health therapists in Indianapolis in Marion County. And so we what we did was we created a scholarship program at Ball State for College of Health graduate students who specifically plan on being in careers in mental health and behavioral health here in Indianapolis, Marion County. And so far, we've had 18 scholarships that we've given out. 14 of them have graduated. So we've had 2 cohorts so far, and 14 of them have graduated. And then we have 4 more who are in our third cohort as well. And so those individuals will graduate and then come here and help with, the low numbers of
talent retention.
Exactly. The low numbers of providers that really understand those who are medically underserved here in Indianapolis. And so that's another thing to our project. We're going to basically create a resource that connects all of those different former scholarship recipients to individuals who need their services here in the Indianapolis area. So we'll be tracking that information so that we can provide that as a resource.
So I don't know if you guys will have like different ways people can connect based on like how they're connecting, but like when it comes to, I don't know if there's more space for barbers and hairstylists, or if you guys are looking for any more.
At this time, as a part of the IAAQLI grant, we are not recruiting more barbers and hairstylists, but we're always looking to, kind of utilize some of the resources that we have. So we're open to barbers and hairstylists reaching out to us and seeing how they can get plugged in to some of the things that we're doing for sure.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Like Easy Lifts, like maybe they're not officially a part of the project, but if they want to get like training or know how they can go through those things too. I didn't know if that was just like open to other folks.
Yes, they can absolutely reach out to us. Nice. And that's a part of the sustainability of the project as well. Yeah.
So how can folks, like let's say people who want to go to Ball State, they want to learn more about the scholarship opportunities or things like that in the mental health space, how can they connect with Ball State? Yeah.
One of the things that I believe they should do is, first thing is to look at Ball State's website and the College of Health website and learn more about us. And then the second part is they can specifically reach out to me to learn more about the project. And so they can find me on the Ball State's website. My name is Taya Arthur, and my email address is there, as well as my office telephone number, so that they could reach out and see how they could be a part of the project going forward.
Okay, nice. Thank you so much for being here today and for sharing this. This is incredible work you all are doing. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you all for listening in today, for watching. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can comment. Please engage, though, because it always helps to get more of this information out, to get more people connected. You can follow us on social media, of course, at IAAQLI, and we'll see you next time.
We hope you enjoyed today's 6 Pillars in Action podcast and learned more about how the IAAQLI funding is impacting our city. And remember, to stay up to date on what's happening with IAAQLI and the 6 Pillars in Action, subscribe to the podcast in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. You can also check out the 6 Pillars in Action newsletter, blogs, and other videos on our website at IAAQLI.org. Until next time, let's continue to celebrate the power of transformation. See you next time.